Here we have a PS5 that came in for repair. Customer said that this PlayStation has been to another shop and they were not able to figure it out. So let's see what's going on and if we are able to figure this out. I have the motherboard out. We already disassembled the board right here. And let's take a look. The first thing we're going to do is start at the very edge of the board here where the power supply plugs in. If we go to diode mode and we go like this, we are reading 0.44, so we do not have a short circuit. We're going to measure here. We do not have a short circuit, and we're not going to have a short circuit here. No short circuit. No short circuit. And we're good here. Mainly I'm measuring for a short. 0.47. We do not have a short. Let's measure this guy right here. We are good. And we are good. And this guy is good. What could be the problem? So it looks like we have a problem right here. If we measure in diode mode. Hey, what's up, man?
Little squiggle.
No problem.
Alright.
Okay, so we have a problem right here. If we measure in diode mode, the number is going up and down. 0, 0.1 voltage drop, 0.2, and 0.3, 0.1, 0. Number is not stable. And if we measure this end, same thing. Number is fluctuating up and down. And if we measure both at the same time, we get a beep. If we go to resistance mode and we measure between here and here, we are reading 0 ohms. Wow. So we could have a problem with the capacitor. We could have a problem with this chip right here. Or we could have a problem with this chip. One of the three. Why don't we start by removing the cap, and then we can measure the cap off circuit and see if the problem is the cap. I do have a donor board right next to me. We can do the same measurement here and see what readings we get. And if we measure right here, we have a steady 0.38 volts. Steady. It's not going up, it's not going down, just a steady 0.39. And if we measure here, we have ground. On the customer's board, we are reading a short here, and this is supposed to be ground, but we are also reading a short here. Let's start by removing the capacitor and see if that's the problem. Right, so we gotta measure the cap off circuit. And the problem is not the cap. Right now what we're gonna do is inject 1 volt using our NF.short voltage injection tool. And I'm gonna point the probe at the shorted area of the cap, and we're gonna monitor the board under a thermal camera and see what gets hot. Let's switch over to the thermal camera. We're gonna point the probe at the shorted area of the cap, inject voltage. And look at this, it's the Panasonic chip. We got it. We got it. Right there, this guy right here. So we injected voltage here, and this chip went hot. Let's put that cap back. And for this, we should be using our anti-glare light. The anti-glare light is a very popular light since I introduced the way it works. I did not invent the side lights, but I made it possible for people to understand that when light is positioned on the sides, it gets rid of the glare. Whoever is using this technique want to make it sound like they are the ones who discovered this. And none of them references that technique to NorthridgeFix. We are the first to talk about how to remove reflections on the board. Look at the video I made about the anti-glare light a while back when we started carrying and customizing the anti-glare light and we sell it in our shop. Just show me one video before the one that we posted talking about something called anti-glare. We are the ones who made the name anti-glare light. There's no such thing as anti-glare light. People have eyes, people have brains, and people know. They know who's genuine and who's fake. Alright, so let's go ahead and desolder this chip. And I have a narrow nozzle, maybe I should switch to the bigger nozzle. Let me just quickly try it with this nozzle and see if we're gonna be able to generate enough heat. If not, then we're gonna change the nozzle to a bigger one, because we are desoldering a big chip. And a tiny narrow nozzle is gonna limit heat. Just like a soldering iron tip. If you have a small tip, less heat transfer, bigger tip, more heat transfer. Even if you have your temperature set at 20,000 degrees and you have a small tip, it doesn't matter. You're not gonna be transferring a lot of heat. Alright, and we did it. We got rid of the chip. Right here. Let's prep the pads while the board is still hot. We do not have fluctuating numbers anymore. Wow, look at this. We have a short again. The problem is not the Panasonic chip. Same problem. Let's inject voltage again and monitor the board under a thermal camera. 1, 2, and 3. Inject voltage. We are drawing 2 amps, but nothing is getting hot on the board, right? I do not see heat anywhere on the board. How come? No heat anywhere on the board. Okay, let's bump up voltage and we're gonna try again. We are drawing 2.1 amps. Where is the 2.1 amps going? I do not see anything hot. That's our ground probe right here. And one more time. Let's flip the board. Interesting. I do not see any heat even though the voltage injection tool is drawing 2.2 amps or 2.1 amps. That's crazy. The problem may be this chip right here. Even though the thermal camera showed us heat on the Panasonic chip, the problem could be this guy right here. Let's desolder. We'll take it from there. Let's put this guy right here. And we're gonna measure again. Let's cool down the board a bit. And measure. Same problem. We're gonna have to put both chips back because we have the same problem. Okay, so I put the camera off for 20-25 minutes and I'm not able to figure it out. We still have a short right here. HDMI connector is perfect. Nothing wrong with the connector, not the pins, and not the socket from the inside. I also measured those resistors. We have 1K each. I removed this cap. I thought maybe this cap is causing a short because it's connected in parallel, and the cap was good. Those caps are not shortened to ground, none of them. Now, I did find some liquid metal spilled right in this area. I do not think it came in contact with any important components. I wiped it off, and this area is clean now. Right here, it was spilled on this area of the board. So I'm gonna put this board on the side for now. Maybe we'll pay it another visit on Monday. Today is Saturday, tomorrow I'm off. Maybe I'll come back on Monday with a fresh brain, work on the board again, and maybe I'll be able to figure it out. But for now, I'm not able to figure it out. If you have any suggestions, let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we may continue working on this board in the next video.